Moving on, relations between Russia and the United States are on the verge of collapse. After Joe Biden branded Vladimir Putin a killer, the Russian president has responded to the comment, and he has not been subtle. On your screen is Putin's retort. The Russian leader has hit back at Joe Biden for calling him a killer, saying that it takes one to know one. In a set of televised remarks, Putin added, and I'm quoting, "We always see in another person our own qualities and think that he is the same as us." Joe Biden, remember, said he believed Vladimir Putin is a killer in a tell-all interview with ABC News.
You know Vladimir Putin, you think he's a killer?
I do.
You know Vladimir Putin, you think he's a killer?
I do.
With both sides on the offensive, the situation is now a precarious one. Russia has also recalled its Washington ambassador to prevent an irreversible deterioration of relations with America. Meanwhile, the Kremlin is taking all necessary measures to try and ready itself for sanctions. This comes after Joe Biden said that Russia should be ready to pay a price soon.
He has the background, the capacity.
Joining us on the broadcast is our correspondent Julia Chapman from Moscow. Hi, Julia. What message is the Russian president trying to send out through this retort targeting his American counterpart? What should one read into the fact that the Russian leader has chosen to respond and the words that he has chosen?
Well, he was asked this question at an event online marking 7 years since the annexation of Crimea, and he was asked to respond to the comments that Joe Biden had made in that interview, where he was asked if he thought President Putin was a killer, and President Biden said, "I do." President Putin was a little bit less direct in his criticism, but he was certainly telling America to look itself in the mirror and suggesting that these criticisms of Russia came against the backdrop of a very unsavory history in the U.S. President Putin mentioned the genocide of Native Americans, slavery, and the use of the atomic bomb as all areas, he suggested, where America had been a killer itself. But he did not accept any guilt in this area. And he did say that he agreed with President Joe Biden that there were areas where the U.S. and Russia could indeed cooperate, areas that were mutually beneficial to both Russia and the U.S. He wished Joe Biden good health, but he did certainly have some very critical words about the United States.
Various reports talking about how Moscow is preparing itself and taking measures in case America does respond with sanctions. What kind of measures are we talking about?
There are indeed sanctions expected, and we've seen some of them already earlier this week, although they are unrelated to these latest comments. The comments that Joe Biden made were, of course, surrounding alleged election meddling in the U.S. presidential vote. American intelligence agencies have accused Russia of trying to interfere in that vote, and of course Russia has roundly denied that. So there are some fresh sanctions that are expected in the next couple of weeks against Russia. But there were also sanctions levied by the U.S. Department of Commerce this week over the alleged poisoning of Alexei Navalny here in Russia. That took place last August when Navalny was airlifted to Berlin for treatment. He's now returned to the country and is in prison. But America and the new administration has been very firm in its condemnation of that event and has now issued some sanctions in relation to that incident.
Julia Chapman, appreciate very much for joining us with those updates. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.